Welcome everybody. So today I'm just making a demo on getting started with Microsoft Graph Toolkit and SharePoint Framework. So my name is Yves Habersaat. I'm a business application consultant at Sword Group. So basically I'm working everything related to Microsoft 365, Azure, Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. I'm based in Switzerland, in Lausanne. I'm also a Microsoft MVP in the Office Development category. I'm the only one in Switzerland as active MVP in this category, so this is great stuff. And I'm also a Microsoft certificate trainer. If you have any questions, so feel free to reach me out on my social networks or directly on my blog. I'm trying to answer every time I have some question or technical inquiries. So just for this demo, just a quick overview of the configuration. So basically, I'm using Windows 10. I will use Node version 1481. I will use SharePoint Framework 1.14, and I will use mgt-spfx package, the latest version. And I will start with a web part solution with the React framework, and I will use MGT React in the latest version 2. So basically, this is a version released this Monday. So this is pretty fresh. So just to start, the first step to configure a project, you need to manage the SharePoint Framework library for Microsoft Graph Toolkit. So basically, first you need to deploy the mgt-spfx package from the GitHub public repository, and you need to deploy this package on your tenant app catalog. So I will show you the link in the demo. Then in your project, you need to install the mgt-spfx npm package with the same version number of the mgt-spfx package from your tenant app catalog. So basically, if you have an existing project, feel free to upgrade it or install the latest version in the tenant app catalog and inside your project. So basically, you need to use npm install at Microsoft mgt-spfx at latest for upgrading an existing project if you want to deploy the latest version. So this is the first step. The second step, if you want to use MGT React components, you need to install the MGT React npm package, and you will get all the React components from the toolkit. The third step is to instantiate the SharePoint provider. So basically, you need to import providers and SharePoint providers from the mgt-spfx package, as you can see on the screen. Then you need to instantiate the SharePoint provider in the onInit method of the webpart file. So basically, as you can see, you just instantiate the SharePoint provider and you pass the context as parameter. The fourth step is simply to use the React components. In my case, it's based on React. So first, you need to import the required components. So for example, you have agenda, you have person, file list, task, and so on. So basically, you have to import this before using it, and after, feel free to use all the components inside your web part. So basically, for example, agenda, as you can see, you can group by day, and you have the same capabilities than other web solutions or web development project. Great. And the last thing is permissions. So basically, you have two ways. The first is just to declare all the permissions inside the package solution.json file, and after you need to approve or reject through the SharePoint Admin Center. Or if you want, you can use also the great CLI for Microsoft 365, and you have a command m365 SPO service principal grant add, and you can add the resource and the scope to grant directly the permission to the SharePoint online app in Azure AD. So this is the steps, and now let's a quick demo. So I'm switching back to Visual Studio Code. So basically, the first step, just to show you, because it's really important. So you need to deploy the Microsoft Graph Toolkit library. So basically, you go through this link and you deploy this package. So basically, this is the latest one, the 2.4.0. You deploy this inside your tenant app catalog. In my case, I've just deployed this fresh version. So this is the latest one. And when it's done, it's OK. And you can directly import two things. The first thing is the mgt-spfx library. So you need to use npm install. and you install the mgt-spfx package. Second, you install the MGT React in the same version. You see the version is the same. And after that, you are ready to use the components. So basically, the first step after installing those two packages is to go in the web part side. And for example, in my case, I'm just importing the providers and SharePoint provider from the mgt-spfx. Just after, I'm instantiate the SharePoint provider inside the onInit method. So basically, you see, I'm passing the context of the web part directly in the SharePoint provider. And after that, I'm ready to use this component inside my components. So basically, I've made just a simple web part project to show you a little more things about this toolkit. So basically, you see, I'm just importing, as you can see, sorry, it's a little bit long, but I'm importing a lot of components. So for example, agenda, person, file list, task, and so on. And after I can use it directly inside this little project. So I made just a quick project. I will just show you the render. So the render is like this. It's pretty simple. You see, you have a lot of components. So basically, I've made some files, some tasks to do, and I have also two sections where I'm using the get components. And one of my favorite, because with the get component, you can query any endpoint on Microsoft Graph with a get request. So basically, you can get emails, you can get your join team, for example. It's pretty simple, but it's just to show you the behavior. But in my case, I can request all the teams I belong to. So basically, if I show you the code, it's pretty simple. So basically, you use, as other web development project, you have the React components. And for example, I have the person component. I'm getting my profile. You see, you can customize avatar type. I'm putting my photo. You have the card interaction. In my case, I'm putting a hover behavior to display some advanced detail of my profile when I go over the card. Basically, you see, you have the agenda. It's pretty simple. It's just to show you the basic stuff, but you can group by day. You can show a max number of items. You have the files, file list. So basically, you can enable the upload process and so on. You have the task, you have the to-do, and my favorite, because in my recent experience, I'm using a lot these get components. So basically, in my case, I'm just getting my messages. You see, you provide the graph get query. Then I'm using the V1, and you have the scopes. So basically, this is declared here. So basically, mail.read is the scope to use to get the email. And after, I'm providing just a property, max pages, to restrict the number of items. And after, the great thing with the get, you can create a template. So basically, in my case, I've declared a mail template, and you can retrieve all the data context. And the data context contains all the properties from Microsoft Graph, and I can use all these properties inside my template. So you see, I can display the subject, I can display the person component with the person query as, you see, the address, the email address of the sender. This is really really cool to interact and integrate some other components, like for example, person query, or like a person component, or like this. And after, I'm just checking the body preview, and with that, you have like this. You see, you have all your mails with the sender, the title, and the body preview. So you see, you can create your own template with all the property you want, and you render as you want inside your report. So this is really, really powerful. And after, the second one is for my teams. You see, I'm just getting the teams I belong to, V1, 2. The scope inside this template is teams.readbasic.all. So basically, this is the scope, the permission to retrieve all these properties and information from Microsoft Graph. And after, I'm just restricting with max pages on 2. And like the mails, you have, for example, the team template. And in my case, you see the team template, I can retrieve the data context, and with the data context, I'm just displaying some properties, like, for example, in my case, I'm putting just a Teams icon, and I'm putting the display name of the team and the description. And in this case, the renderer is like this. So you see, you can retrieve all your teams and render all the properties with the custom template. This is really powerful because you can, as I said before, query all the endpoint with a get query, and you retrieve all the properties and you render as you want with a custom template. So basically, this is really powerful. And I saw that Sébastien Levert will make a presentation based on maybe advanced concept. So basically, this was my demo. This demo was just to show you the basic stuff on how to get started with Microsoft Graph Toolkit and SharePoint Framework. And for advanced stuff, maybe I will make another demo with a more advanced concept. But the goal of today, it was just to show you how to get started, the exact steps, and maybe some cool stuff like the get component. So it's finished on my side. And if no question, back to you, Patrick. Thank you.
Great demo, great work on that. And I don't know, it looked pretty advanced to me. So excellent stuff there. Excited for folks to check that out in the sample gallery.